There we go. All right, aloha mai kako. Today is Wednesday, April 1st. April Fool's Day. The time is 9 a.m. I call this meeting of the Committee on Beneficiary Advocacy and Empowerment to order. I want to welcome everyone to today's meeting and acknowledge my staff, Trustee Aide Leanne Stender, who is serving as the committee recording secretary. And I'm very pleased to announce and introduce our newest member of our staff, Mauli Ola Boardroom, who is helping the team in her role as technology specialist. Aloha. Aloha. Yes, very good. Leanne, please take the roll for attendance.
Trustee Ahuna. Here. Trustee Akaka. Here. Trustee Akina.
Aloha mai kako.
Trustee Alapa is running late. Trustee Kahele.
Present.
Trustee Lindsay. Present. Trustee Souza.
Yo.
Trustee Waihee. Not present at this time. Chair Galutaria.
Yo.
You have 7 present, enough to make a quorum.
Mahalo. Members, public testimony will be allowed on each agenda item and will be limited to 5 minutes per speaker. Before moving on to the items on our BAE agenda, I would like to call our COO, Keishawn Kekina, to join us at the board table to introduce any administrative staff here with us today. Aloha.
Aloha mai kako, mahalo nui Chair, Vice Chair, and Trustees. This morning we have with us from administration in support of this meeting our interim administrator and CEO, Summer Silva, our general counsel, Everett Ota, our senior director of Hawaiian Cultural Affairs, Lāma Kukui, our director of advocacy, Leina Alale, our public policy manager, Deja Ostrovsky, our director of research and evaluation, Carla Hostetter, our director of communications, Bill Brennan, and also our IT systems engineer and administrator, Kyle Saucier. Mahalo.
Okay, mahalo. Let's move on to our new business on the agenda. Administrative update, 2026 legislative session and rapid response approval testimony, submittal updates. So will be no discussion, deliberation, or decision-making on this item. Any public testimony, Leanne?
Not at this time.
Okay. Deja, are you handling this? Oh, okay. Leina Ala too. So I'd like to invite OHA's Chief Advocate, Leina Ala, and Deja.
Chair Galutaria.
Yes.
I'm sorry, someone just raised their hand. The Ohana Unity Party.
Pardon me?
The Ohana Unity Party is has their hand raised. I'm not sure if
okay.
this is the item they would like to speak on, though.
Okay, that would be Pikachu then. Aloha, good morning. Are you on? Pikachu, billionaire?
Aloha, guys.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
I want to say great news. I looked over the agenda, so thank you for moving it forward. And our people are suffering. We are having some help with the community hub. I won't take long, so please do what you guys are doing to help our people going out, from Maui. I know people focus on North Shore. We've been handling Makaha on our own. There's places all over, but keep on doing the great work. Mahalo nui loa. And you already know I testified to support every single bill, Chair, so we can make things easier. So I support every single thing. We still got meetings going on, so I have to acknowledge all of you guys, all your hard work, because I'll be busy. I got office election meeting at 10. I know you got Board of Trust meetings tomorrow, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll say thank you for all the great, awesome work you guys do behind the scenes, front of the scenes, and everywhere. Mahalo nui loa. Thank you all. Chihu. Aloha.
Mahalo. Thank you for your kind words. Appreciate that. Anybody else? Leanne?
No, there is not.
All right. At this time, I'd like to introduce Leina Alale and Deja Ostrovsky to the table. Please proceed.
Good morning, mahalo, Chair. So the RRA update, there were 2 RRA testimonies submitted in the past week. And actually, Summer had sent out the 48-hour notice last night describing them, and they're also on the matrices today. But the first one was in support of a resolution looking at when Halava is is upgraded to look at making it a rehabilitative facility and not just focus on incarceration. So we supported that, consistent with prior OHA positions on the disparate impact of the criminal justice on Native Hawaiians, and the support for cultural diversion courts and other rehabilitative models that aren't just focused on incarceration. So that was the first one, SR 84, and it's also on Matrix 6 today for further board discussion and approval. And the second one was HR 189, HCR 199, and this one was a resolution introduced basically asking that the United States give back surplus lands held by the federal government under existing Public Law 88-233, which provides a pathway for the government to return surplus lands to the state. And we supported the intent, but asked that the committee take out language that was asking the Public Land Trust Working Group to do a fair market value assessment of all federally held lands because of the fact that it's simply outside the scope of the working group's mandate to focus on state-held lands. And DLNR actually had an assessment last year that it would cost $2 million to do a fair market value assessment, and the PLT working group, of course, has no money to do that. So we asked for deletion of that language related to the Public Land Trust Working Group from the resolution. So those were the two bills, and I believe that one should be on Matrix 3 for discussion, if the trustees would like to provide or to have further discussion on those. We can flag them when we're on the correct matrix. No, the RRA is no action, it's just an update. But again, I will flag them when we come to the matrix where those two resolutions are listed, so there can be further discussion at that time.
Okay. Very good. But I've been advised that there's no discussion on this, so we'll just move to the next one.
Correct, yes. Thank you.
Where was that? Which one? Okay, so this is B, Administrative Update 2026 Federal and County Level Legislative Proposals Affecting Native Hawaiians. Okay, trustees, before we get started, please keep in mind we have 10 matrices on our agenda today. There will be no motion for OHA's Matrix 1, and we'll be discussing and voting on agenda items 3, C, 2 through 10. Okay?
We're still on B, right? Did you guys?
Yeah, we're still on B. So go ahead, proceed.
So I'll just give two brief updates on other advocacy work that's outside of legislative session that's taken place in the past 2 weeks. The first was consistent with prior BOT positions and comments we've submitted in our role as co-trustee of Papahanaumokuakea. I testified at a Westpac meeting against reopening of the monument to commercial fishing, consistent with VOT position. And then last night, I also testified the DLNR has at public hearing the proposed rulemaking package for aquarium collection, which would be contrary to our package bill that is moving in the legislature. So as part of my testimony, I flagged that the agency should really defer to the legislature and wait until the legislative session is over and the legislature has spoken on this issue before proceeding with the rulemaking. So those are the two updates I have on that.
So it's still consistent with our position.
Exactly. It, basically, the agency's action is contrary to our package bill. That's still alive, HB 2101. It's still moving. And that's what I shared.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, members, there was no public testimony on this item. Okay. Okay. Matrix 1, any public testimony?
No public testimony.
As mentioned previously, there will be no motion on or vote on Matrix 1. Go ahead.
So of our 6 package bills, there are 2 bills that are still alive under their original number, which is the aquarium bill that I just mentioned, HB 2101. It has its final hearing in the Senate committees on energy, commerce, and consumer protection, along with I'm blanking on the other one, but it has a joint hearing tomorrow, and we submitted testimony. There's no oral testimony at this stage in this last hearing, but we submitted our testimony. I'm sorry, the second committee is judiciary. It's Senator Rhodes' committee is judiciary, and Senator Keoho Kalole's committee is energy, commerce, and consumer affairs. So that is the last hearing for HB 2101. So if it makes it through, it will go to conference. And then the second bill that's still alive but not yet scheduled for its final hearing is HB 2104 relating to island burial councils. It's scheduled to be heard in WAM as its last committee, and it has not yet been scheduled for hearing. And then when we get to Matrix 9, I'll talk further. There's a bill that has actually taken the language from HB 2102 on our recommendation. So HB 2102 is essentially still moving. It's just in a different vehicle.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, trustee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick question, Lena Olive. So you said that HB 2101 and HB 2104 are the only measures of Matrix 1 that are still moving.
Correct, with the exception, and I guess procedurally, I'm not sure where I should talk about it, but HB 2102, the language that we had is now in HB 1710.
Okay.
So essentially, 3 of our package measures are still moving substantively. It's just our bill formally died, but the Senate Water and Land Committee added our language from HB 2102 to HB 1710. So it is also essentially moving.
Thank you. I understand.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the bundling is beginning, putting things in other bills. Okay.
And if I could just
pardon me?
clarify, so the HB 1710 was also relating to historic preservation, so it was actually a very appropriate vehicle for them to do that.
Did that answer your question, trustee?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or discussion for this? No? Okay. Let's move on to our next item, which is OHA position on bills and measures naming OHA Matrix 2. Any public testimony?
No public testimony.
Okay, please proceed, Lee, or Deja, either one.
Okay, so we have, first I wanted to do some items of note because these are the measures that are naming OHA. And, oh, sorry. First I wanted to give some items of note. So these are not ones we're asking a table change, but they're the same as our published matrix. And those are ones, because these name OHA, I wanted to point out. Page 6, item number 9, that's item 16. SB 2313, and that is the related to public financing for public elections. So we've talked about how we've continued to submit comments to ask that OHA be given parity in the election financing to the lieutenant governor's race. There were some amendments that were made to the bill that would up the amounts for OHA, but it still does not put on parity with the lieutenant governor. So we wanted to flag that. We're still continuing to comment for our preferred amendments to the public financing bill, but it is just, it's not on parity with LG's race, okay? And then the other one is page 9, item number 9. This is what Lena Ola discussed. I just wanted to point out, since it is the time to discuss for it, this is the resolution about the surplus military lands that we submitted the testimony on prior to having a complete board approved position. So that's item 9, page 9, HCR 199.
Specific to that, do we have a reliable inventory of these lands?
My understanding is that's part of the Public Land Trust Working Group's.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to correct
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
It's actually not part of the Public Land Trust Working Group. The Public Land Trust Working Group
That's
is
what she said.
focused on state-held lands, and this resolution is focused on the federally held lands, which is why it needs to be its own separate entity. If they want to do a fair market value assessment of federal lands, that's totally outside the scope of Public Land Trust Working Group, which is focused on state lands.
So where do we get a reliable inventory?
I think there's, I mean, I actually think compared to the state lands, the federal government does have a relatively more complete inventory. The question that this resolution is addressing is, are these lands surplus that should be returned to the state of Hawaii? And one of the one that the resolution highlights is land by the Halekoa Hotel that's no longer used for defense purposes, and saying that's an example of surplus land. And it's also asking the federal government to re-examine whether lands that are held purely for recreational purposes and not defense purposes, like Bellows, would also be considered surplus and should be returned to the state under Public Law 88-233.
Okay. Yes, trustee?
Yeah, Lena Ala, do you know who is running Halekoa? Is it still the military? So how can it be surplus if they're still using it?
So I think the intent of the resolution is saying that if it's non-defense, if it's for a non-defense purpose, it should be evaluated whether it's surplus and actually needed.
No, I agree, because they're making money off of it.
Correct.
And not giving us our 20%.
Exactly. So it would be to look at getting those kind of lands back.
Thank you.
Okay, next is the ones that we have recommended table change. The first one is page 5, item number 4, which is highlighted in blue, HB 2046, relating to the Olelo Hawaii Commission. So this is one that we're waiting to get its hearing in WAM. The community has rallied behind this bill, and they have a HD that they are shopping around. So we're recommending a table change from support to support with amendments. And that is to allow us the flexibility to respond to the community amendments and support them. So that's why we're recommending a move to support with amendments. The next one is page 6, item number 11, relating to the public land trust land. I'm going to let Lena Ala do that one. Yeah, sorry. She's the one for that one.
So this is the one we've continued to support all session, that it asked for a temporary 2-year increase in our annual funding amount. But I just wanted to highlight that our position has evolved, and I wanted to give the board an opportunity if there's any disagreement. But the tactic we've taken is to ask for the 2-year increase to give us all of the money that's in the carryover trust account. It's $55 million right now, and that trust account is money that state agencies have already identified as due to OHA as part of our 20%, and they're just sitting in this trust account. So that is the amount of money that we've been asking for the temporary 2-year increase to be appropriate, would be the $55 million that is available in the trust account.
In other words, nobody move, nobody get hurt. The money's sitting there anyway.
Yes, thank you, trustee, exactly.
Okay. This is for our listeners too, so they understand. Okay, continue, please. Oh, trustee Waihe?
Is this the bill that, the one that one time Clay was talking about the AG's testimony being inaccurate? Was it in regards to this?
Yes, and thank you for the question, because there's actually an update. In the Hawaiian Affairs Committee, which was the last hearing, they took out the language that the AG had found offensive, and I actually think it makes the bill cleaner, because the bill had originally read like, we're going to give you this amount or 20%.
Okay.
Or at least 20%. And the AG was saying like, but how do we know what 20% is? So now the bill is written, would just give us a number for 2 years. So the AG, hopefully we'd like them to not testify at all in the future, because their amendment was taken and it doesn't substantively change what the bill would do, which is to give us a bump for 2 years.
When I finally read the testimony, it was very strange, because they're not like just giving, like an AG's opinion on the legality of it. Like Kalei was saying, they conveniently leave out chapter 10, 13.5 as even existing. And I know that it's not because they don't know it exists. So I guess my question is, what's their motive? They seem to have motives behind saying what they're saying. Like what is their
I mean, their position is actually consistent with case law, which is simply that the judiciary doesn't determine what 20% is. The legislature determines what 20% is. So it's a very technical point, but their point is simply like that the legislature should set a number rather than saying 20%. So, you know, we think that especially for purposes of this 2-year funding mechanism, if it gives us the number, that's what we want. We want the money, right? We don't want, we're not looking at this point in time, we don't need the 20% final determination. That's what the working group is working on. So there's really no need to even talk about the 20%. But don't worry, we do put in all our testimony that under the Constitution and HRS 10-13.5, OHA is entitled to 20%. We of course say that in all of our testimony and communications.
Thank you, trustee. Okay, continue.
So it was just those two changes that are highlighted in blue.
Oh, yeah, and then we had one just to draw to the attention, sorry that I forgot, is page 8, item number 5, SCR 117. It's nominating John D. Waihe'e III for induction into the Aloha Order of Merit. There is a hearing on the 8th at 1 p.m. In the Hawaiian Affairs Committee, so OHA is supporting that. I just wanted to bring that to his attention of the trustees.
You
Do I have
better
to
recuse
recuse?
yourself.
Huh?
What?
Whose
Shall
bill
we
is,
give it to Waihe'e 4 instead?
whose bill is, oh yeah, whose bill is this?
This is
This
Kyoho
is
Kalole,
everybody's.
Chang, Fukunaga, Gabbard, Hashimoto,
Everybody's.
McKelvey, yeah, so.
Does it meet with your approval, trustee? Oh, okay. Very good. Okay, please continue, or is that it?
That's it, I'm sorry, we forgot to flag that one. And it does have a hearing this week, so
Yeah.
OHA will be submitting testimony in support.
I'm glad you brought it to our attention.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I
Okay,
also would like to note as well,
I'm sorry, was that trustee Akaka?
yes, I also would like to note as well, this is truly an honor, an Aloha Order of Merit that was originally created to honor my grandfather, U.S. Senator Daniel Kahina Kaka. And later in time, it was brought back up by Senator Donovan Dela Cruz to honor Governor George Ariyoshi. So it's nice to see this coming back up again.
Yeah, very good. Okay. All right, are you done with Matrix 2?
Yes.
Okay. Chair makes a motion to approve OHA's staff position for bills and measures naming OHA as presented in Matrix 2, except for HB 2046 relating to the Olelo Hawaii Commission from support to support with amendments, and HB 2584 relating to the Public Land Trust from support to support with amendments. Yep. Trustees, any more discussion on Matrix 2? Hearing none. Leanne, call for the vote, please.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa, Trustee Kahele,
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay. Aye. Trustee Souza. Trustee Waihe'e,
Yes.
Chair Galutario.
Aye.
You have 9 votes.
Thank you,
Passes
members.
unanimously.
Okay, let's move on to item 3, OHA position on bills affecting public land trust, Matrix 3. Any public testimony, Lay?
Not at this time.
Okay, very good. Okay, proceed, please.
So the two highlighted table changes are actually admin errors. They had been previously discussed at the table and already been accepted for the first one for comment. And this one we're submitting testimony that clarifies that OHA isn't a state agency. So even if this bill were passed, we would not be constrained by its terms, which require that state government to state government leases be no more than $1 a year. So we clearly do not want that to apply to OHA. And the second one is one that it was a staff error. They flagged it and thought it might have affected public crown and government lands, but as written, it does not. So those are just admin changes. to make the matrix consistent with the positions previously discussed.
That's the only thing.
And I guess I can flag as a significant bill that's still alive that the trustees previously had questions about is item 13 on page 12. That is the bill that would create a community development district within the HCDA to redevelop the Banyan Drive area. And the most significant aspects of OHA's comments, which I believe we previously talked about, is to have OHA to be seated as the board had requested and we previously discussed to have a voting membership on that district because of the nature of the district primarily being Crown and government lands. And we are also we're also supporting the community ask to have a lineal descendant seat on that specific district as well, because it is such a culturally significant area, and the community wants to be sure that in addition to the development, the history and of the Ohana as well as the Ahupua is reflected in the decisions of the HCDA district. So that one is no change in position. I just wanted to provide an update that it's still alive and OHA is still seeking a position. There has been a version of the bill approved that did in one committee that did have a lineal descendant seat, but there's no committee that has put OHA onto the district yet. So we continue to ask for it, but it has not happened yet.
Okay. Is that, so the only change is
Are the two-
2596?
The only are the line item God, I can't read, 16 on page 12 in blue, and 20 on page 13, and they're both highlighted.
Well, we published the changes for the item 20, so we don't have to do a table change motion for that because we published those in advance of this meeting. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so before we move into discussion, let me make a motion to approve OHA staff positions as presented with affecting the Public Land Trust as presented in Matrix 3, except for SB 2596 relating to government leases from monitor to comment. Trustees, any questions or comments, or discussion? Oh, okay, seeing none. Leanne, call for the vote, please.
Trustee Ahuna,
Yes.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Aquino,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa, Trustee Kahele,
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
Trustee Souza,
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e,
Yes.
Chair Galutario.
Aye.
You have 9 votes. Motion passes unanimously.
Mahalo, members. Okay, item 4, OHA position on bills affecting natural resources and Native Hawaiian traditional and customary practices, Matrix 4. Any public testimony?
No public testimony at this time.
Okay, mahalo for that. Okay, please proceed. Matrix 4.
Okay, so before we talk about the bills that have the position changes, we are going to flag the new bills on page 21, item 42, 43, and that is supporting the Native Hawaiian Intellectual Property Working Group's request for resources and a timeline for extension. So from what we understand, this is something that we're supporting, and it is really important for the work to move forward. They need that additional timeline, especially from what I understand, even if they were given the resources, they want to have that timeline for moving forward. So then I will do the next one, page 20, item 36. This was a published change, so we don't need to make a motion at the table. This was establishing an income tax credit for those who use natural management of coconut for CRB. Originally, this bill had a big, we were supporting it, it had a big discussion about new as a cultural property. And we're moving it, or recommending to move it to monitor because it's turned into just an income tax credit. And we've actually been supporting measures that would say rather than having individuals manage CRB on their own and receive a tax credit for that, it's something that we should have the state agencies working for. So we've moved that down to monitor. And then page 19, item 27, relating to trespass. We were providing opposition on this related to traditional and customary practices and access to folks on land. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna pull up the comments. So the Agricultural Committee actually took our comments to address our concerns. So the forfeiture penalty they have is actually a second offense now, and so it doesn't really affect legal hunting on private lands or Native Hawaiian traditional and customary practitioners. So we're actually recommending we move from opposed to comment. We still want to voice some concerns because there are really harsh penalties for hunting on private land, and so there could be specifically harsh penalties for ag land hunting. That's been flagged by our staff. I think that's it for Matrix 4, yeah.
That's it? Okay, so just SB 2128 then, huh?
Yes,
We're
that's the
switching
only
out.
one that we're switching here at the table.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve staff positions on bills and measures affecting natural resources and Native Hawaiian traditional and customary practices as presented in Matrix 4, except for SB 2128 relating to trespass, from oppose to comment. Okay? Trustees, any discussion on these matters? No? Okay, hearing none. Leanne, call for the vote, please.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka, Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Aquino,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa, Trustee Kahele,
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
Trustee Souza,
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e,
Yes.
Chair Galutario.
Aye.
You have 9 yes votes. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, mahalo. Okay, next is bills affecting Native Hawaiian housing, Matrix 5. Any public testimony?
Not at this time.
Okay, please proceed.
I just wanted to flag one bill. It's nothing that we're changing, but I think it would be of interest for the trustees that we're supporting. It's page 27, item 23, SB 2552, that does have a hearing this week, so it is going to make conference. And that is allowing folks to save in an individual housing account for a home down payment. This is something that looks nearly identical to OHA's package bill in 2018. So we've been an early adopter of this measure, and it's been great to go testify and talk about how OHA has supported these types of individual housing accounts and down payment assistance to make sure that folks can save for a down payment on housing, and specifically that other states put state funding to this as well, not just our private trust funds that OHA has committed in the past. So that is something that is going to make it to conference. Well, I shouldn't say that, knock on wood, if it passes out of committee. So yeah, thank you. That's it.
Okay, before we ask questions on this matter, Matrix 5, I move to approve staff position recommendations for bills and measures affecting Native Hawaiian housing as presented in Matrix 5. Trustees, any questions or comments? All right, hearing none. Leanne, call for the vote, please.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Aquino,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa, Trustee Kahele,
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
Trustee Souza,
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e,
Yes.
Chair Galutario.
Aye.
9 yes votes, passes unanimously.
Mahalo, members. All right, item 6, position on bills affecting Native Hawaiian health, Matrix 6. Any public testimony?
None at this time.
Okay, please proceed.
Okay, page 31, item number 18, HB 1769. I just wanted to flag that because that's been a priority measure that we're now doing action alerts for. And that is the one that requires the Department of Corrections to incrementally return folks from the private out-of-state prisons. So we did an action alert for that. It had a hearing, I believe, yesterday or Monday. And so that bill is going to conference as well. So I wanted to flag that. The other bill is a bill that we've been monitoring, and it is on new positions, page 36, item number 1, relating to healthcare. This is a bill that our team has been following, and it's something that is we're recommending a support. It's something that is consistent with positions that OHA has taken in the past. And so what this would do is expand HIPAA and healthcare protections to folks who are Mahu or have had gender affirming healthcare services. So this is about making explicit that folks have HIPAA and healthcare protection privacy if they are members of our Mahu community. So we're recommending a support for that. That's it for Matrix 6.
Okay, before we enter into discussion, let me move to approve OHA's staff positions recommendations for bills and measures affecting Native Hawaiian health as presented in Matrix 6, except for HB 1875 relating to healthcare, from monitor to support. Okay. Members, any discussion or questions? Okay, Leanne, call for the vote, please.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa, Trustee Kahele, Trustee Kahele, not present at this time. Trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
Trustee Souza,
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e,
Yes.
Chair Galutario.
Aye.
You have 8 yes votes.
Thank you, members. All right, item 7, OHA position on bills affecting Native Hawaiian education, Matrix 7. Any public testimony, Le?
None at this time.
Okay. Deja?
Okay, so we have a published change on matrix number 7, page 41, item number 6, relating to education. And this is about the Charter School Teachers Incentives Program that we've been supporting. We're recommending move to support with amendments. Our staff actually met with the Charter School Commission, and they're asking us to support their same amendments on this measure. And so this would be us supporting amendments in line with the Charter School Commission.
Is that it?
Sorry. The other one is page 42, item number 6, HR 171 HCR 181, which requests the Department of Education to convene a shared decision-making committee to develop an action plan to establish K-12 Kaiapuni schools in Kapolei. Our team had initially recommended support when they did the publication of this matrix, but has been able to talk to a lot of other stakeholders. And our understanding is folks are not asking OHA to support this as a preferred method for Kaiapuni establishment, but to comment about how we support it. But we do understand there's probably other more preferred ways to have a Kaiapuni, not through a shared decision-making agreement. So we can support the concept, but there are folks that have raised some concerns about this, and so we're recommending comment instead of support.
Okay.
That's it for Matrix 7.
That's it for Matrix 7? Okay, before we discuss, let me make a motion to approve staff positions, recommendations rather, for bills and measures affecting Native Hawaiian education as presented in Matrix 7, except for HR 171, HCR 181, requesting the Department of Education to convene a shared decision-making committee to develop an action plan to establish a K-12 Kaiapuni school in Kapolei. Any discussion on this matter? Trustee Akina, no? Okay, all right. Were they asking for monetary support originally?
For which one?
For the one that we're
The
discussing
teacher
now?
incentives? Yeah, so what it would do, the Kaiapuni one?
Puna one.
Yeah, the Kaiapuni one, it's more about how do you create a Kaiapuni. And so there's a lot of discussion about there is a mandate for DOE to provide access to Hawaiian immersion education. So it's, from my understanding, there are concerns that this type of a shared decision-making agreement may have some, the ultimate, the DOE needs to be providing access to Kaiapuni. That is the ultimate requirement. So it's not just about funding, it's about the mechanism.
Yeah. So we want DOE to move the Hawaiian schools into the mainstream a little bit more. Yeah, okay. All right, let's see. Trustees, any questions, any discussion on this matter?
Chair, I just wanted to just offer up some quick comments because we've seen this happen before. And on Maui, I believe it happened at Paio's school or something. Well, what's happening is there's a lot of people wanting to attend these Kaiapuni schools, and sometimes it's more than the regular DOE population. So yeah, it's good to sit back, watch it, and I think we're doing a good job. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Trustee Ahuna. You being a big part of this, I assume you're pleased with it, right? Okay. All right, once again, we have a
Yes.
motion. Oh, okay, thank you. We have a motion affecting Native Hawaiian education as presented in Matrix 7, except for HR 171, HCR 181, requesting the Department of Education to convene a shared decision-making committee to develop an action plan to establish a K-12 Kaiapuni school in Kapolei and move it from support to comment. Okay, any questions? Any discussion? Okay, Leanne, please call for the vote.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Lapa, Trustee Kahele,
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
Trustee Souza,
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e,
Yes.
Chair Galutaria.
Aye,
You have 9 yes votes. Motion passes unanimously.
very good. Okay, item 8, bills affecting Native Hawaiian economic stability. Matrix 8, any public testimony, Leanne?
None at this time.
Okay, proceed. Deja?
Yes, trustees. So for this one, I just wanted to note, we've asked for a table change for page 45, item number 7. And this establishes a 5-year pilot program to authorize the DOE to rehire retired teachers in hard-to-staff positions. We're only recommending a move from support to monitor because of prioritization as we go into conference. And this has not been on a WHAM agenda yet, and so we just want to be prioritizing those bills that we are putting our energy behind. So, yes, that's it for this. Chair.
Trustee Lindsay?
Is that bill on Matrix 8?
Oh, yes, Matrix 8, page 45, item 7.
So why wouldn't education and bill be on the economic stability matrix?
Yeah, you know what, I will talk with our staff on why that is there. Maybe they were seeing it as an economic, yeah, that's an error. I'll talk to our staff about that. Thank you for pointing
Thank
that
you.
out. Thanks.
Okay, and when you folks do that, please alert Trustee Lindsay? No? Okay. All right, let's make a motion here to approve OHA staff positions for bills and measures affecting Native Hawaiian economic stability as presented in Matrix 8, except for HB 2172, related to employment of retirements from support to monitor. Okay. Any questions, any discussion on this matter beyond what's been discussed already, no? Okay. Leanne, call for the vote, please.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Akina,
Aye.
Trustee Lapa, Trustee Kahele,
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
Trustee Souza,
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e,
Yes.
Chair Galutaria.
Aye.
You have 9 yes votes. Passes unanimously.
Okay, mahalo, board members. Item 9, OHA position on bills affecting Hawaii Revised Statutes, Chapter 6E, EV Kupuna and Historic Preservation, Matrix 9. Any public testimony, Leanne?
None at this time.
Okay. Go ahead, Leanne. Leanala.
So this is just highlighting as a table change the one I spoke about earlier, HB 1710, which is the one that now has our OHA package bill language in it. So rather than comment, we want to upgrade to support to make sure that that language moves forward.
That was it?
Yep, I think everything else has already previously been voted upon.
Okay. Let me make a motion to approve OHA staff positions recommendations for bills and measures affecting Hawaii revised statutes, Chapter 6E, iwi kupuna, and historical preservation as presented in Matrix 9, except for HB 2172 relating to employment of retirants from support to monitor.
It's just written wrong. It's
Yeah.
Correct.
Hold on.
And I'm sorry, I did want to flag, I spoke incorrectly. There are new measures on page 51. There are two resolutions, and they're urging the counties to strengthen their historic preservation capacity. And that's because many of the changes that have been made to HRS 6E historic review over the past few years have delegated some of the duties traditionally held by SHPD to the counties. So the request is that the counties put resources into hiring professionals who would have the expertise to make the determinations that are being asked of them. And Maui County is in fact a model for that. They already have a Department of OEB resources that has the type of archaeologists on staff that other counties are being encouraged to look at that kind of model. So that's the new measures.
That's a new measure, okay. So let me make a motion to approve OHA staff's positions, recommendations rather, for bills and measures affecting Hawaii revised statutes, Chapter 6E, iwi kupuna and historical preservation as presented in Matrix 9, except for HB 1710 relating to historic preservation from comment to support, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion, members? Okay. Hearing none, Leanne, call for the vote, please.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Akina,
Abstain.
Trustee Alapa, Trustee Kahele,
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
Trustee Souza,
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e, Chair Galutaria.
Aye.
You have 8 yes votes and 1 abstention. Motion passes.
Okay, mahalo, members. Okay, we're at number 10, which is OHA position on governor's messages for the state board and commission's confirmation, Matrix 10. Any public testimony?
No public testimony.
Okay, Leonala?
So items 1 through 7 have already been approved by the board as far as the nominations to boards and commissions that we are recommending the board support. So 1 through 7 has already been reviewed. And then additional names that we're recommending support for Elena Bryant to Kaneohe Bay Regional Council. She's a Native Hawaiian attorney who has served on Ko'olapoko Hawaiian Civic Clubs in leadership position on the Kaneohe Neighborhood Board, and is active in marine resource issues. So we thought it would be appropriate to support her nomination to that body. I'll skip Martina Kamaka. I don't know if you can speak to her, Deja, but can you speak to her?
My understanding of, I should have been more prepared for that. I'm sorry. So our staff knows that she's just someone who's been involved, I think, in Native Hawaiian health, and so we're recommending a support there.
And then do you know the next one? Kaipu?
Yeah, so that's for Kirk. Again, I'm just supporting our staff recommendation here. To have her at Kirk.
And then I think everyone's familiar with Noi Noi Wong Wilson for her nomination to the Mauna Kea Stewardship Oversight and Authority. We're recommending a support. She sits on the Governor's Advisory Committee with Summer. Ku'ule Aloha Santos is a Hanapepe resident, and her ohana has some of the salt beds in Hanapepe, and she's been active representing the community interests with respect to the salt beds. So we think that would be an appropriate Native Hawaiian perspective to be added to the Land Use Commission. And that's the last of our recommended supports for nominations.
Okay. before we get into discussion, there was no public testimony, right? Leanne, I'm sorry. Okay, I make a motion to approve all staff positions, your recommendations on confirmation to state boards and commissions as presented in Matrix 10. Any questions or comments? Trustee Waihee? No? Okay, there are some names on here that I'd like to know why we're still monitoring, but we can do that offline, okay? Because there are some qualified people, and I'd like for us to consider supporting them. And they're being monitored right now.
Well, I think due to limited resources, we focused our support, because I mean, this is already like 10 support testimonies, and we like to provide meaningful support that has some of the person's background, their service to the Native Hawaiian community, how they've represented, Native Hawaiian rights. So we have that background for the people we've recommended support, and the others, we honestly don't think that they have a background that directly coincides with any of OHA's priorities, so we wouldn't really have anything to say. And it would be kind of a stretch to do any more than what we've already recommended. So that's, but we do want to know what goes on with those appointments.
Okay, so how shall we handle this?
So it would just be to approve the ones that are support, and we'll continue to monitor the other ones so we know who's coming onto these boards and commissions.
What's the deadline?
I don't know when these
Okay,
all get heard.
okay. Trustee Lindsay?
I just want to say that that is staff recommendation, but the trustees may know the people better than our staff, in which case you should make that recommendation to the board.
Yeah.
Yes, if there's individual names, we'd be happy to talk about it. I think it, like I mentioned, that's the reason that we submitted those names.
Does the board want to address it today, or shall we do it in the next? I have several of the names, I do, but Trustee Souza?
Yeah, for starters, Mauli, Mr. Chair, Lena Ala, Melvin Kahele. I would like to change our position from monitor to support.
What number is that?
There's number 23.
23, okay. And then we can reach out to you, Trustee Souza, for help in drafting the information for the testimony.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, can you go to the top of the list? Okay,
Chair, I have a question.
yes.
Oh,
Trustee,
I don't quite understand what's happening right now. Are we giving support to the names of the people that we want to support to this board? Okay, with that, can I make
yeah, certainly,
I
go
want to
ahead.
support, I want to support Kuule Santos.
She's listed as support trustee.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Trustees, anybody else? All right, so.
Yes.
No, go ahead. Vice Chair?
Yes, item number 12, GM 650, regarding submitting for consideration confirmation for Pacific States Marine Fisheries Commission, Philip Fernandez, for a term of 6/30/2029 from monitor to support.
Anybody else? Anyone else? Vice Chair? Okay. All right. Okay. Yes, Trustee Lindsay.
Okay. I see number 17. Oh, wait. Yeah, number 17. Paul Horner for the Mauna Kea Stewardship and Oversight Authority. I would nominate that person as well. Do we have Noi Wong?
Yes, we have her listed as support trustee.
Okay. Anyone else? Trustee?
No, that's it. I'm good.
Okay. Trustee Alapa, you have any recommendations? No? Trustee Souza? No, Pao? Trustee Waihe? Trustee, Chair Kahele has left the meeting, so let's take a look at that list one more time from the top, please. We'll just as well do it today. Okay, Sean, Denise Seri, support.
Staff would recommend, we actually add her on here as a potential oppose because she has not been supportive of Native Hawaiian interests in her role.
Okay,
So,
all right, then let's move down. Joe Pickard. Anybody object to that? Yeah, I know Joe.
Number 8.
That's number 8. Okay. Somebody mentioned Elena Bryant, right?
correct, we have her listed as support.
Support,
She's
yeah.
a community,
Okay. Is there any reason Gilbert Kuali'i was not supported?
no, again, our recommendations were based on, who our staff knows is, active and supportive of the community, but yes, we're open to other
I'd like for us to
suggestions.
consider supporting him, please.
Okay.
Okay. You mentioned Riley Smith, right, trustee? Trustee,
That is another
Lindsay?
we would actually recommend not to support. He was the only board member who voted to accept the EIS for Pohaku Loa and has not otherwise generally been supportive of
Oh.
community positions.
that's how Riley voted.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Mentioned Paul Horner, Noi. Okay. Go further down. What is the reason we're monitoring John Komeji?
I don't see that one.
Yeah, I just know number 20 from Mauna Kea Oversight. We're just taking those that our staff had suggested who monitor, that have taken positions that they felt consistent with OHA
Let's
positions.
Or
consider John.
inconsistent.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, trustee.
This Mauna Kea Oversight Committee, is this the one that they created?
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of the terms may have, maybe leading up to expiration. That's why the same names are on this list.
Okay, no, I don't mind. I just like for example, the Mauna Kea committee. I mean, this is all we have is like we're going to support who the governor supports, or do we have our own list of people that we can pull from? Or no, that hasn't been established.
I don't think it's been established, right? We don't have our
Yeah.
own list of candidates.
That's why we had suggested Noi Wong Wilson as support and then just remaining silent on some of the other candidates.
I see.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to know what the strategy behind how we going to do this. You know, I don't like. I mean,
Well,
do we?
thus far, trustee, it's been the staff that's making the recommendations.
Yeah,
It's never
no,
reached-
but it's just that, part of the Constitution is the people have a voice on Mauna Kea, and and we represent that voice, and if we don't have that voice on this board, what are we representing for on this board? So I just want to make sure that how we support or monitor is very important, on this one, because hey, we should have a voice on that board. And not a supporting role is what I'm trying to say. But I'll go with it. I mean,
Okay.
however, I'm going to support our staff is what I'm saying. But I just wanted to know the difference. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
So I want to ask our staff if the governor asks us for recommendations. And that's what I think Trustee Ahuna is alluding to. Do we have a say as to nominations to this commission?
We don't have a statutory role in nomination like we do for the IBCs.
So, Chair, maybe we can develop that nomination list and submit it to the governor
Yeah.
because we care.
Yeah, I don't think we need to be asked
Yeah,
by the governor.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think if we want to implement that in the future, probably the timeline we'd want to be doing that is in the summer, because I think that's how long the nomination process takes to get to be transferred to the Senate at this time of year. So like, that's how with our IBCs, we submit our names to the governors by December 1st. So I think if we wanted to do something similar with Mauna Kea, we would want to be on that same timeline for the future.
So I think that you should create a terms of expiration and then bring it to the board so that we're reminded that it's coming up. Thank you.
You know, I'm familiar with the Mauna Kea Stewardship and Oversight Authority, and it's important that we have a balanced a board over there. So I see the names, and they're not ultra-conservative, but they do bring a nice balance to the board. So I want us to consider all of these names for the Oversight Authority. Richard Matsuda, John Komeiji, obviously Noi Noi is being supported, and Paul Horner.
Trustee, if I could, I would just need to reiterate that we would need some kind of support because all these are going to be set for the hearing in the next week. So we're going to have to draft testimony for all of these names. So if there is a way to prioritize, I would respectfully ask that we could, because, you know, there's only 10 days left in session and we have all the other work we're trying to do. And again, I think writing meaningful testimony takes some time. Because you want to have like the biography, some of the biography background, you want to have important decisions that is the basis of the support. So I'm just concerned about our staff's ability to do, you know, many more than we already have on here. Because we just added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new names. So that's already a lot. In addition to the 7 we had, that's 15 additional testimony we have to draft in the
Trustee
next 7
Lindsay,
days.
you have something to share?
Yeah, I just want to say that, you know, these people, they're pretty well known. So they probably have a bio on the internet. So if that would simplify our staff's writing of recommendations, I would suggest that we do just that instead of calling different people for their biographies.
Agreed. It's still time consuming.
Yeah, thanks.
So would that make the workload a lot less?
I mean, any testimony, no matter how basic, starting from scratch is going to take at least an hour for a staff member to do.
Well, let's see what we can do. I mean, if you need, like, our staff to help with supportive testimony, let us know,
Okay, thank you.
okay? Meanwhile, the names that were put forth, let's try and advance them, okay?
Okay, I'm going to
advance
also
them,
recommend that we do not support Nancy Carr-Smith. She was also on here to actually recommend potentially as an opposed because of her positions with respect to the Native Hawaiian community.
Who was that again?
Nancy Carr-Smith?
22.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, so does all of these changes become a part of the motion?
The changes I have circled are 8, 10, 11, 12, 17, 21, and 23 are being changed from monitor to support.
Okay, hold on one second then.
I didn't have 10 as a change.
10 is,
Chair Galataria.
Yeah,
Just
go ahead.
real quick, I just, you know, I didn't want to bring up, rattle anything, but the reason why I brought up what I said was because when I talk about the voice, is there a minimum on, like, do you have to be a Native Hawaiian in order for us to support it, or can they be anybody?
The way we normally do our support is based on somebody's record of decision making. So again, if trustees have names that they're recommending that we don't find a basis of their record of decision making, we'll have to ask the trustee for further information.
Thank you.
Okay. Trustees, any other questions or comments about this? If not, I'm going to make a motion to approve OHA staff position recommendations on confirmations to state board and commissions as presented in Matrix 10, except to add from monitor to support 23 GM 766, 12 GM 50. 650. Yes. 17 GM 739. 8 GM 845. 645 rather. 11 GM 649. 19 GM 749. Oh, I'm sorry, 741. I can't read your writing, bro.
Yeah, I know, it's my writing, sorry.
20 GM 742. Okay. You got that? You got that, Deja? Okay. Let me see. Any discussion? Any more discussion? No, hearing none. Call for the roll, please.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Aquino,
Aye.
Trustee Alapa, Trustee Kahele is excused, Trustee Lindsay,
Aye.
Trustee Souza, Trustee Waihe'e,
Yes.
Chair Galutario.
Aye.
You have 8 yes votes, motion passes.
Thank you, members. All right, Leanne, do we have anyone online or in person that has anything to share during our community concerns and celebrations?
Yes, we do. We have Ohana Unity Party.
Okay. That's Pikachu, right? Oh, there you are. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
For everything. Thank you all for listening. So I went through all of it. Good job with the supporting. And I do want to send out the community and support. My community concern, if you guys didn't know, a lot of Hawaiians do want to go into office, but they're getting blocked by the fraud currently going by the Office of Elections meeting going on right now. So I filed 2 reports with the DOJ. When you look at the meeting minutes, it's not even there. So they're lying and committing fraud. Every time on the primary ballot, and we have a problem with OHA, as you know, with the gap. They put us on the back. They're not giving us the PLT revenues of 20%. And also, most people don't really vote. They don't participate. As you can tell, I'm the #1 testifier in Hawaii because nobody else testifies. All the people you're putting on that support, how many of them actually sent a testimony in support of any of the matrices you discuss? Probably none. 0. I'm always hearing my name. I'm seeing the same people in the office. So there is a big gap I want the Hawaiian community to be aware of because people don't want to run for office. They don't want to become a peel-outician to work in the Capitol. And after all these matrices you wrote, how many are actually getting through? Not very many. I like HCR 199 to talk about President Trump going to give back the land. However, that's already deferred on March 31st. It's dead. Mostly every single Republican bill they wrote is dead. So even though we're trying very hard to get stuff done, it comes with good heart, good mana'o, but a lot of stuff is getting blocked. Whether you're Republican, Democrat, it doesn't really matter. And the reason why I'm saying this, I actually applied for a job for you guys, for OHA, if you guys didn't know this. I applied for the Washington, D.C. Bureau Chief job because you should send someone strong, who has experience, who's willing to risk his life to face the CIA, Donald Trump on all these war stuff because we're going to need appropriations, NAHASDA funds, and things to help directly our people. Now, I did help get $800,000 in funds for Kanehili Homestead Association. We are working for the Nanakuli Cemetery for NAHASDA funds for more, maybe $500,000 to $1 million to try to make it self-operating and make it better than Mauna Ala. So we're working with a lot of stuff, and we will need your support from OHA, the trustees, to be creative in all these ways. So I just want to thank you guys for all your hard work, and hopefully we can get more engagement, as you guys know, with the policy making through implementation, and not people just begging for handouts. So thank you all for listening. Have a beautiful day. Chiu. Aloha.
Thank you. Aloha. Leanne, anyone else online or in person that has anything to share? Community concerns, celebrations?
No, there isn't.
Okay. Trustees, anything on the table? No? Okay. Well, announcements first. Okay, I have one announcement. Trustee and all staff are welcomed and encouraged to join our beneficiary services and community engagement staff to help our residents in Waialua. The Waialua Courthouse is the meeting place on Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you can show up anytime. Okay, members? Yeah? Okay? Any other announcements, members?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
ILM committee will convene at 10:30 a.m. ILM committee. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Okay,
Chair.
mahalo to everyone for participating.
Chair,
Yes.
Keishan, did you need to speak?
All right, please come to the table.
Aloha Chair, mahalo nui for that announcement. I just want to make a quick update. So we will be matching our partner, the Hawaiian Council in Wailua. And they are not ready to open at this time. We are going to be opening on Monday.
Oh,
So
okay.
we don't want to overpromise, or set any operating hours as well. And we'll just wait for that cue.
Okay. So trustee Lindsay, that,
So are you still requiring our staff to go on Sunday?
Right now, this Sunday, no. Yeah, but we do want to match the Hawaiian Council's hours, and because it's a community hub, they will be standing this up 7 days a week, and that's the mana'o so far.
Well, I don't think our people should be asked to work on Sunday. That's Easter.
yeah, it's not going to happen.
This Sunday it's not going
Okay,
to be open.
thank you.
Yes, mahalo.
So that was a premature announcement. Kalamai. Okay, any other announcements?
Also, yes, regarding this planning for Wailua Courthouse, as it is on Oahu Island, as the Oahu trustee, I would appreciate to be a part of the conversation, as I was not made aware of this till after the fact.
Okay, Sean, you got the message.
Yes, Trustee Akaka, mahalo nui. We have our first meeting convening today, and we will be sharing updates with all trustees, and we'll definitely keep you queued in as these things progress. Mahalo.
Yes, and I think with any island, if there's activities happening with the Office of Foreign Affairs, the island trustees should be consulted and brought into the conversation.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Sure. Trustee Souza?
That's good, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Any other announcements or comments, members? Okay, there being none, may I have a motion to adjourn? Okay, so moved by Chair Merda. Any discussions? No? See none? Roll call, please.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Akina. Not present. Trustee Alapa. Trustee Kahele. Oh, he's excused. Trustee Lindsay. Trustee Souza.
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Chair Galutaria.
Aye.
Yeah.
Trustee Akina's back.
Yes, and I vote aye.
Thank you. You have 8 yes votes.
Okay, very good. Thank you, everybody. Meeting adjourned. See you at 10:30.